You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Friday the 7th of March, 2025. It is 76 days after the winter solstice. It is 13 days before the spring equinox. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 17th day of Ventose, the day of the Doronique, the Dornicum, or leopard's bane. The sun rises today at 6:20 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:07 p.m. The sun sets today at 5:54 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 6:21 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 6:53 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes 41 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waxing gibbous phase and is 61% full at midday. The full moon will arrive on Friday, the 14th of March. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the very early morning, high tide, 4:03 a.m., 1 meter 37. At mid-morning, low tide, 10:39 a.m., 6 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 4:52 p.m., 1 meter 7. At night, low tide, 10:40 p.m., 15 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, the bulb watch continues. Now, many different kinds of bulb shoots are emerging all at once, fine, thin, and green, stocky and purplish red, long and elegant. The shoots are mostly between 1 and 3 inches tall right now. Their variety announces the bounty of early spring flowers that will soon be upon us. Commemorations. The 7th of March is a day heavy with science and invention. On this day in 1785, the geologist James Hutton outlined his theory of uniformitarianism to fellows gathered at the Royal Society of Edinburgh, Scotland. Uniformitarianism holds that geological changes have been continuous and uniform, and that the rules that govern natural processes today are the same as those of the past. It is a broadly held theory today. On a more somber note, on this day in 1946, the inhabitants of Bikini Atoll left their pristine island home at the behest of the United States government. The atoll would be used for above-ground tests of nuclear weapons. Today also marks the birthdays of 3 inventors important to the history of photography. Born this day in 1765, Nicéphore Niepce created a technique he referred to as heliography and produced the earliest photographic images we know of. He later collaborated with Louis Daguerre. Born this day in 1792, John Herschel was the inventor of the cyanotype, or blueprint. We continue to use his technical terms, such as positive, negative, and snapshot. And born this day in 1837, Henry Draper was an early pioneer of astronomical photography. He built himself an observatory in Hastings-on-Hudson, where he made detailed photographs of the moon. And on a non-scientific note, as the first Friday in March, today we celebrate National Employee Appreciation Day. The day was established in 1995 by Bob Nelson of the publishing company Workman Publishing. And so in celebration of the hard work that millions of us toil at in paid employment, happy National Employee Appreciation Day. And that is the Observatory, Friday the 7th of March, 2025.